Hi guys, the rating fluctuations from today's games was insane. If I could only play a bit more consistently, I could maybe reach the desired 2000 elo. I'm going to be showing the 2300 elo game. Hope you enjoy. At the beginning, I would like you to look at this position. Me and my opponent are pretty equal, so how do you win the game from this here? Opponent plays queen to d5. I play knight c6. It's a discovered attack on the bishop. That move asks a question to my opponent. Firstly, does he see the attack, and secondly, what will he do to reply? Even if you see the best move for your opponent, that does not mean he will see it. So you lose nothing by playing a low-risk move like this, but you may gain a lot. Opponent plays queen f3, looking to defend the bishop. Now I play rook e8, doubling my rooks on the e-file. This does two things. One, it attacks his bishop, and two, it takes complete control on the e-file. Opponent plays bishop d3. You can pause and see for yourself why this move is a mistake. The move is a mistake because I put my knight on e5. My knight was here 2 moves ago, but now the situation is different. The knight is attacking to pieces at the same time, and my opponent's bishop is attacked by my bishop as well. Opponent has no choice but to move the queen. Now you have to make a decision. Do you take with the knight or bishop? We take with the bishop. The bishop gains a tempo on the opponent's rook and puts pressure on his knight. Opponent moves the rook to 1. So what do you do now as black? You are a piece up and have a solid position. Do you still pressure or just trade the bishop for the knight? And then try to trade the rest of the pieces to get to a winning endgame. The best thing in this position is to put more pressure on the opponent with the move bishop c4. This move puts pressure on the knight, but also on the f3 square. The queen is defending both the knight and the f3 square. And now it has to abandon one of these things. Let's say the queen goes on c5 and protects the knight. Now the move knight f3 check comes to play. It is a discovered attack on the e1 rook. If the opponent takes the knight with the pawn, I simply trade the rooks, and at the end of the exchange I get 2 rooks for a rook and the knight, on top of the piece I was already up. Here I can even trade the bishop for the knight, which would mean that I am up a rook in the endgame. That is simply winning. The opponent doesn't want that variation. The thing is, my bishop and knight cover 2 out of 3 squares that the king could move to. So, if the king moves to the edge of the board, my opponent simply gets mated by forcing the rook trade. Obviously, that is also not a preferable outcome for my opponent. So, he decides to let go of the knight. I simply take the knight. So now in this position you may ask why my opponent doesn't play pawn to f4. This looks like a pin, but I have a defensive resource. Here I play knight d7, protecting the queen, and now my opponent is in a very tough position. The queens see each other and the rooks also. Keep in mind that my opponent is 2 pieces down. Every piece that gets traded lands me closer to victory. Unable to play that, opponent chose to move the king. I play bishop c6. Opponent plays queen a7. I play queen g5, threatening mate. Don't know if my opponent missed mate or was tired of this game. Queen g2 is mate. I played this game phenomenally well. These types of games give me hope that I can reach 2000 rating. The potential is here. I am just lacking the consistency to make it. And for all of you that said that I only won because my opponent played badly, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the analysis. Write in the comments if you would like to see how I throw games which are easily winning. Hope you liked the video and subscribe. Until next time.